play in the NFL. I have a dream of making it in the NFL. I got a dream of winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, buddy.
I got a dream of being in a Pro Bowl. I'm really not into dreams.
I'm into nightmares.
You heard it here first. We bringing the pain. Just call us Freddy Krueger. Raider Nation.
Kingdom Music. We back. We ain't into dreams, we the nightmares. Oakland Raiders be the squad and we right here.
Facts.
Yeah, that boy having a night share. Derek still clutch. He been doing it for 5 years.
And you know this, man.
Boys out here killing dreams. Jacobs out here trucking dudes and killing teams.
Come on.
16, he be doing Ty William things. 16, always doing Ty William things.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your guy. It's your man's the Network One. Bringing you the content with the Raiders. I know we've been absent, but don't fret. We freestyling this shit thing today. Off the head with the thoughts and the progression of what's going on in training camp. If you can't tell, we are excited for this upcoming season. We got some news and notes popping around Las Vegas. Coming out of Raider Nation, silver and black representing. Yes, sir. Let's go. We need to get our bumps prepared today. We gonna set y'all up real nice over here. I hope everybody is staying safe out there and taking care of yourselves. All the news. Shout out to the NFL. I would love to send a special shout out to the NFL. It looks like they got this thing figured out. I've been looking at the statistics of how many positive COVID tests compared to how many they've taken. These young men and these veterans just taking care of their stuff and staying out of trouble. And that is always a good thing, and staying healthy for the most part. We got a couple with injuries that's popping up across the leagues, a lot of lower body extremity issues and soft tissue issues. They playing it safe. Everybody's trying to get whipped into shape, should I say. No pun intended. So we go blast through this one today, and I'm going to start off the head, off the domage, you feel me, and talk about something I think we can lay to rest. And something I think we can lay to rest will be the status that's of who is our captain, who is the man at the helm. And it's been a lot of chitter chatter and a bunch of cats bumping their gums out there. Yeah, I see you. We out here. They bumping their gums talking about Derek Carr is on a short leash, and Marcus Mariota may be the quarterback of the future, yada, 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 cry me a river. You know, these fans out here, fair weather fans I've seen on topics and threads and whatnot mentioning, they don't care who the quarterback is. That's a nonchalant approach to take, and not the kind of approach you should have for somebody, whether you like it or not, is going to go down in the Raiders' book of records in various many categories, and will be the longest standing Raiders quarterback to date. Okay, let that sink into your thick skulls. Get on board or get off, because when the ships start moving in the right direction, we don't want all them out of the closet fans jumping on the train while holding down the momentum. You feel me? And you take it how you like it. Raider Nation, stand up, silver and black. We can put that to rest. Marcus Mariota has not been looking extremely well in this preseason, and I think Carr has came out. He got a chip on his shoulder. He hear all y'all chirping and bumping of the gums. So I just ask you guys to stop it and get behind the man, straight up. Not later, right now. You know, I've seen the comments that they just want the Raiders to win, and they don't care who is that quarterback. Come on, man, don't take that route. Don't take that route. So we won't bring that up, and I've probably been bringing that up on multiple episodes over the last couple of weeks. Extend that, will you? So now that I don't think we're going to have to talk about that anymore. We're going to move around and talk about the defensive end for the Jacksonville Jaguars was said to be coming over to the Raiders, and the Raiders did a wise thing and did not trade for him, which was said to be possibly a second-round pick. Thank you. We're building something nice here in this, from the schematics of when I look at the blueprints. In like 2 years, you're going to have to pay Josh Jacobs. And if Jonathan Abrams pans out, he's going to want to get paid too. You just put a lot of capital in the draft this year, and don't overextend yourself. And if it's just a draft pick, what was we going to do? Rent the guy for a year? Because he wants to get paid. He's made that clear. He would have to sign his franchise tag and come over. And it would just be, I'm glad they did not make that move. It seems like sometimes the grass is always greener on the other side, or you can make this addition, but sometimes we see now today with the news was happening with Earl Thomas in Baltimore. Sometimes less is more. You don't want to add something to the. We went down that road and tried to bring in some said wide receiver. I refuse to name this year, but if 2020 was a year, that would be. If 2020 was a person, his name would be, and I'm not going to say it. You already know what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm getting a little catty today. Like I said, we're coming off the head. But yeah, I'm glad that pickup wasn't made. There's still a pickup I would like the Raiders to make. And as we get close to the season, and I'm just going to keep saying this one is not going to come off my radar. I don't think we need any help on the back end per se. Yes, we do. Lies. But come on, bring in Eric Berry in for a workout, please. Maybe he can be our, everybody talked about Bruce Bowen being a Kobe killer, Kobe stopper. That's probably not. Kobe stopper is what I meant to say, you guys. R.I.P. Kobe, happy belated birthday. But they said Bruce Bowen was the Kobe stopper. Can we get a Kansas City stopper on our roster? Somebody that's been behind the curtain, somebody that knows some tendencies that Andy Reid that maybe Gruden might not know. Can we do that? Can we make that happen? Because 2020 Eric Berry. But let's talk about some of these interesting free agent signings that they brought in. We already discussed how Devontae Booker is a homegrown product, so I didn't mind that signing. But since then, we had we had to cut a running back to sign. Who did we sign yesterday? Theo Riddick, a pass catching back. What's going on with Jalen Richard? Why would we need somebody of that skill set on this team? He didn't even play last year as far as I know, and he's an excellent pass catching back, but that's pretty much it. We have that on the roster. Is this a depth body, a body for camp? We don't have any preseason games being played. Pretty soon, there's going to have to be roster cuts to be made. So I'm kind of puzzled about that signing. Is Devontae Booker can catch the ball a little bit. He is a backup. Is he not panning out? Does that say something? We had signed Stanback, and I didn't even know that. I see they had to cut him to even pick up Riddick. Jeremy Hill lasted all of 2 days? What is going on in that running back room in Las Vegas for the Raiders? It's just interesting. Some of the signings, they just seem like they're kicking the tires on everybody. And so be it. Rod Smith I think he's no longer part of the roster, but they seem to be searching for something that I think might be all over, already on the roster. What's happening with Lynn Bowden? He's going to play wide receiver and running back, and you're still going out to sign running backs. How many running backs will we? These are all the questions I would like to ask. How many running backs are we going to carry into the season? I ask. I'm curious. What is going on? We're going to give news reports say Josh Jacobs is going to catch the ball more, and he's going to be more involved in the offense. So why are we trying out and signing all these running backs? Extremely puzzling is the Theo Riddick signing. So we'll be looking forward to news coming out on that end. On top of that, we've had some more news about how Henry Ruggs might be used. He's going to move around a lot. He's going to play opposite of Terrell Williams, but at the same time, there's mixed things being said because they want to play him in the slot as well. I thought that from what I heard, he was going to bump out Hunter Renfrow from the slot. And I do not like that idea. I believe Hunter Renfrow earned the slot position for this team, and he's going to uptick, and he has a year of experience and chemistry under Carr. So moving him around doesn't seem like, I don't know. He can only prove to us if he can play on the outside, but I know darn well he can play on the inside. So will he be off the field if Ruggs is in the slot? And in bursts and in circumstances and situations that may be fine. But throughout the season, I don't know about that. So I'm not sure if I misinterpreted the first reports that made it seem like he was bumping Hunter Renfrow out of the slot. But the second report I seemed like he's just going to move around, which is fine. I wanted to mention that. Brian Edwards will back up Terrell Williams, it looks like. And it seems like Terrell Williams has yet had some other injury. They've been very vague, and not just the Las Vegas Raiders, but everybody's been a little vague about what is actually going on with these small little tissue and lower body injuries. So with that being said, that's something to watch because he was bothered by that foot injury last year. Lower body your foot is on your lower body, Craig. It might be a thing. I don't know if it's something that hasn't healed all the way, and that brings worry. Why does that bring worry, Network? Because this team is really young, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You're going to need that wily vet to kind of like balance things out, show these young men how to be a pro's pro. Is that Tyrell Williams or is that Nelson Agholor? And yes, I said it. The ghost of Nelson Agholor, former first-round pick, will be making the team this year from the looks of it, unless he just screws the pooch in the next couple of weeks, which is bittersweet. I wish the best for the young man, but he is also known for playing out of the slot. Seems like we're going to get into a situation of, I guess, best man wins, next man up. But I think we need more receivers on the outside than we do on the inside. And can these spectacular athletes answer the call and be able to be moved all the way around, which Gruden might like because that's just the nature of the beast in the Swiss Army knife that of a team that John Gruden would like to put out on the field week to week. Production is going to be key in those positions regardless. We want Carr to throw the ball more down the field, but these receivers need to be in the right place at the right time. We're hearing amazing things about Brian Edwards was a big steal. The Raiders apparently seems to have grabbed 2 number 1 potential wide receivers in the draft. And that's all good and dandy, but will he be ready this season? How good is he? We don't get to see everything that's going on behind the silver and black curtain, but I'm excited to what the Raiders can put on the field week to week. That we mentioned a little bit about. Oh, wait. Let me hold up. Let me talk about something. Some people. I was listening to something, and I'm always watching because we out here, Raider Nation. Something that I noticed and seen. Somebody said that in a podcast or somewhere said that they used the term or they garnered and created the term a dog as far as a football player that is a dog. And I'm like, that phrase, you didn't make that, buddy. And I want to call him out, but he kind of claimed like he came up with that. And I used to coach, and that term, and I used to play. That term has been around for a very long time. I would like to say older than I am. So you might want to check your files on that one. And maybe the definitions vary from different people what a dog is. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but on a football team, every starting player is not a dog. There's different types and levels of being a dog as far as a football player that gets his bone every time. It's like a moth to a flame kind of player, and they're different. They're just hardwired for football. And that's okay if you're not a dog. We would love to put out 11 dogs on offense and 11 dogs on defense. I'm not sure that happens for every single team. I don't think it's actually possible. It's something that's embedded into your freaking DNA, okay? And the more dogs you have on your team, the better chance of you to win those gritty, pulling out teeth, elbows, and kneecaps kind of games, because dogs is going to come out and produce. They're not going to let you down. They're not going to back down. They don't want to lose. They want their bone, and that bone is that Super Bowl championship. And the more people you got that hardwired into their DNA when they ain't not taking those shorts, they play for the love of the game and the competitiveness and the drive and the motivation. They're dogs. Like, then I might not even have the right definition of what a football dog is. And you guys can let me know on Twitter, in the comments, anywhere. Just let me know, what is your definition? Because we got to get this straight. Maybe I got it wrong what a dog is. I've been around some dogs on the football team, and they're special to watch, and not always. I would like to think that always dogs maximize their potential, but that's not always the case. Sometimes there's opportunities, there's injuries, there's some things, some hurdles that some people, even dogs, can't overcome. The more dogs we get put out on that field week to week is going to determine whether we're on a playoff team. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, I think we're on the bubble. And I'm being optimistic and realistic at the same time. But the first 4 weeks of this season ain't going to be no cakewalk. Week 1 might be, and that's a might be. If we don't produce, we won't win that one. We got to look at this going in week to week. for that W. Don't look ahead at the next opponent. Don't even look in the first 5 weeks. Just look at week 1 and handle business. Come on, Raider Nation. The D line, the interior linemen seem to be having some rave reviews. I have not heard much about Colin Farrell. And Max Crosby, I just believe, was reinstated back to the team because he was on the COVID list for a minute. We did part ways with a couple of players that I was expecting, and it looks like my pick to make the team at the wide receiver spot might have his work cut out for him because Nelson Agholor is going to make the team, and it said that Rico Gafford is going to make the team along with Marcel Aitman. And I have to probably watch some film because I am partially biased, being that Keenan Doss looks like he might get cut for a second time. Like, it's just frustrating to see them cut him last year, and then that wide receiver we don't talk about over here left, and then they brought him back from the Jaguars, had to pay some money to get him back, and then he's facing getting cut right now. I'm not sure if it's performance or just them having so much talent in that wide receiver room, he's just a casualty. It looks like Keenan Doss, and his name is Demorne Pearson L, might be getting cut, but they're still signing people, and the rosters on how they cut people doesn't seem to be like it's a new year. This is the new norm for this year, and I cannot make sense out of it. But to see that there's someone reporting that Keenan Doss is not even going to make the practice squad, I hope he latches on like he did last year when another team is given the opportunity, because that young man won the Walter Payton Award as a junior in college, and has his bio is impressive. And I was hoping he'll make it a Cinderella type of story and come out and be able to help the Raiders. But I can also see Marcel Aitman in spots shows he deserves to be in this league. And I believe he's like 6'5", and I believe Rico Gafford is pretty big. I would have to look, but speedy as well. Keenan Doss is a big target, but he doesn't possess the natural speed or that kind of speed, So maybe they said we got 2 wide receivers like him with the same comparable size, and we're going to go with the faster of those. But we'll just see how it all shakes out. The linebacking core made an addition sometime this week, and I'm looking to see the news that's going to come out about somebody we talked about in the previous episode. Also, a hometown favorite here in Oakland from the MAC, Jalvin White. Hopefully we can get him on the show one day. If you're listening out there, I'm going to find you. But hopefully, I hope he makes the team. That would be another feel-good story, and I'm extremely biased. The talk that I've been hearing is just like Terrell Williams, LaMarcus Joyner, our nickelback, is in an awkward position because neither one of them did well last year. And now, a year after converting to the slot corner or the nickel corner, Joyner needs to produce because he's making too much money not to be productive. And it seems like the Raiders is already ready to pass the reins over to either Amik Robinson or the cornerback they drafted in the first round, Arnett. What doesn't make sense to me is, and when I'm listening to and reading and checking out feeds, Amik Robinson is being brought up before Arnett to replace Joyner, which isn't Arnett our first round pick? Is he in the picture to start opposite of the cornerback Mullins? Will Prince Akmanora, or Nebraska cornerback, also play with the Giants, the Saints, and recently the Bears, who I like that pickup? Will he be a starter? It's a lot of questions I have, and the most concern that I have is that back end. Of course, we're going to have to get to the quarterback, and we talked about that, about the need for the Raiders to get more 3-and-outs and force some turnovers. They did really poor in that last year. But we're not getting any clarity of how are we coming out of our sets to start the year. Other than that, something that's a little worrisome on the offensive line. Let's not skip that. That's like the meat and potatoes of everything, Raider Nation. Trent Brown missed 5 practices in a row. Very vague on why, but he's not somebody that's easily replaceable. Our offensive line should have some cohesiveness going on. They should be practicing together right now. So we should all keep an eye on Mr. Trent Brown. I don't believe Davion Clowney has been signed yet. We're going to need some pass rushers, some game changers, but I don't know if necessarily he'll be a right fit. And if you guys are thinking about Earl Thomas coming over, not for the headache, not for what's going on. It's a shame what happened over there in Baltimore, but I don't think it's an option. You don't want to bring in somebody. I think I already covered that. What are you guys thinking as far as roster cuts, and who are you guys hoping? What are you guys hearing out there in Raider Nation? This was a rather quick podcast. Want to pop in. I want to say a big shout out to the one and only the Back Row Network. Actually, you guys, I wanted to mention, we just added a couple more teams today to the roster. We now have the 49ers and the Bears joining the network. So I believe that puts us up to a total of, checking this right now, 15 teams we represent over here at the Back Row Network. I would love to send a special thank you out to the Back Row Network. Looks like everything is working out and we're going to get a season. Can you see this smile? Oh, you can't. But I bet you can hear it. Oh, yeah. Let's get it. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and rock up on out of here. And I hope you guys have a good one. We go rock and roll and keep it steady, just like Eddie, every time we do. Keep it true, and we'll see y'all soon.
But we always gonna be the Oakland Raiders. Yeah, Brody, we from Oakland. We tailgate all day. Ain't nobody else do it like the Bay. Yeah, Brody, we from Oakland. I'ma do it for the town, and we ain't stopping till we get the crown. Yeah, Brody, we from Oakland. And what's lies shall be found with the king. Ain't no way we going down. Yeah, Brody, we from Oakland. Young Hunter Renfrow in the slide. Young Cleveland Farrell with the stop. Young Trent Brown with the block.